Hello and welcome back to the channel. I was going through some of my brochures and came across this one, the Holden of Tomorrow, or Tomorrow's Holden. And of course, for people that don't know, it was the Holden Hurricane. I believe a bit of a prototype of what and testing bed of different things that they were trying to improve in the late 60s on cars, and give it that futuristic look. And of course, some of the things that we'll probably see in this brochure are incorporated in cars that you buy today. So quite a leap forward, really. And I think General Motors definitely had a big hand in it, because I did see a similar vehicle that was made by, only in pictures of course too. I saw that Vauxhall had made a similar car. So obviously, of course, being a General Motors company, or part of, they were doing similar things, and of course this one just happened to be the Holden. So we'll move over to the next page and we'll see what's inside of it. Okay, well, I've turned the page over and it opens up into three separate little leaflets, of course making all one, but they've got a breakdown drawing of the car itself with all what's in it and what's not in it, and they've got little lines to descriptions of what things do and where they are. So I'll just pan around that and you can have a bit of a look. I'll try and get where the lines are going to, so you sort of know where things are. And of course, if you want to have a bit more of a read, you can always pause it and just sort of see the types of things. And some of them look a bit familiar, of course a bit antiquated, being in the late 60s. Of course, things had improved a little bit since then, but nevertheless, of course, the same principles and ideas. So they've had quite a few little innovations in this car, and being a two-seater sort of sports car with a rear-mounted engine, quite a unique little thing. It's probably a shame that they didn't actually put it into production. I'm not sure how many they did build. I think there is one in the National Museum here. I do remember seeing it, but when I was very, very young, so I haven't. I can't really confirm or unconfirm of its existence, but I gather there is one mock-up and drivable too. There may even be more, because they might have made 3 or 4. I don't really know. Perhaps if anybody knows, they can let me know in the comments a bit more about it, because I found it was an interesting piece of motoring history, and sort of as I said, the things that they were incorporating in these cars at that time is not very much unfamiliar to what's in modern cars. And if we move over here, then it shows the breakdown of the driver's cockpit. So of course, in the center there is your I suppose, what do they call it, rear camera or something, TV rear vision screen. Well, I think we all know them as like reversing cameras and that, but of course nowadays the reversing camera also doubles as your touch screen and iPod player, and it does a multitude of things. But as I said, it's very, very, very familiar sort of look to what's in a car, say 50, 60 years later. So and there's all because they've got all the numbers with lines going up to what buttons and where things are, and of course that corresponds to down the bottom here where the equipment is. So you've got all your usual bits and pieces there, but like it had seatbelt warnings, I'm just looking there, and battery voltages, engine vacuum, and air conditioning and temperature controls. As I said, very advanced for its time, considering this would have been, I think, probably late 60s. Somebody might correct me on that, but I believe it was around about late 60s. And yeah, when you think, well, that's over 50 years ago now, yeah, quite a technological advanced car for its time. And of course, they did incorporate a lot of these features in the more modern cars, as I've said. And now we move on to all their promise of today, the Holden Hurricane, how we put ideas to work to give you a better motoring. And then it goes on about how they've achieved this through their GMH Technical Centre in Melbourne. And it just goes on, and styling, design, engineers and draftsmen. And according to this, it says the unique facility of the $7 million GMH Technical Centre made the project possible. So obviously they had a very, very good design and engineering centre, and spent a lot of money playing around with this type of stuff to try and make better cars for the future. So yeah, anyway, as I said, you can read all of that about the handling and whatever else. And we'll move over, and I think that should be the last page. So now we end up on the final page, which is all the specifications and the construction. I think you can read that okay. Excuse my hands, it's yeah, I'm just doing this very, very haphazardly, but I thought it was a rather interesting little brochure about some of the things that we did here. And of course they would have been doing them in other GM facilities around the world, and also not only Holden's, but all the other major manufacturers, Ford and Chrysler and Mitsubishi and Toyota, and that they've all dabbled with these types of things. And but yeah, it's just a very, very unique and interesting piece of motoring histories. And yeah, quite a bit of reading there. And we go up to the safety features there, and fully padded interior, ignition safety interlocks, and the fire warning system. I don't think my car's got a fire warning system. I think when you smell smoke or see flames, that's the warning system. But obviously this thing did have one, and yeah. And then the brakings, and I think it gives the size of the discs as well. What size? Now that's the part I'm more interested in. What does it say? It's supplied with a specially produced experimental Holden V8 engine of 253 cubic inches. Is mounted forward of the rear axle in line to provide improved rate of response to controlled maneuvers. And then it goes on to all the different what gear ratios it had in first, second, third, fourth and reverse. And there was, if it will focus, come on. Then we have the wheels and tyre size of 15-inch diameter and 6-inch front safety rims and 8-inch rear Front tyres width is 8.9 and the rear was 10, so the rear tyres were slightly bigger than the front. And of course then it goes, shows a little thing of GMH and Holden Hurricane and some more drawings. So I trust you guys have enjoyed having a look through this brochure with me. As I said, it's all water under the bridge now because, as of course you know, General Motors and a lot of other manufacturers don't really exist in this country anymore. So yeah, what could have been if they continued? And I don't know how far they went with the development wise of this Hurricane, but as I said, you can certainly see that there was a lot of innovation in that time that was also integrated into the more modern Holdens and other manufacturers' cars as well. So there we go. All right, I'll say thank you very much for watching, and until the next one, cheers for now.